Good morning. This is my review of the first week of the 2015 NFL season. Please forgive the lateness. I meant to post this yesterday, but I was very busy, so I decided to do this today. To say it was a great opening week would be an understatement. It was a good week for my Packers. We beat up the Bears thanks to the bad man, and also thanks to Jay Cutler showing his worthlessness as usual with that interception to Clay. This is the first time that the Packers have won an opening week game since 2011. We've lost 3 straight from 2012 to 2014. 2 of those were to the 49ers. Ugh. And the last one was the opening week loss to the Seahawks in Seattle. Speaking of Seattle, what made this week better was that the Sea Chickens actually got beat by the Rams. And it was a crazy game. The Rams had the Seahawks on the ropes. They were actually up by 11 points, but in typical Rams fashion, they blew it. And they were actually down by a touchdown entering the final few minutes of regulation, but they managed to tie it up with 50-something seconds left. And overtime was forced. Now, on to overtime. For some ungodly reason, Pete Carroll decides, let's onside kick this to kick off overtime, and to no surprise, the Rams get it in Seattle's 49. Luckily, they only give up a field goal, so they had they actually had a chance to score with their possession. And this is the best part here. Fourth and inches, they decide to hand it off to Marshawn Lynch. And Mr. Beast Mode doesn't get it. Now, here's the thing. While Pete Carroll lost the game, he was vindicated, at least in my opinion. Because here's the thing. Everybody and their brother after the Super Bowl unfairly and incorrectly blamed this man for losing the game, even though the blame should have went to their untalented quarterback, Russell Wilson. We all know the story. They had the ball at the 1. They needed to get in to win, and Russell passed it. That was the right decision. Russell, as usual, just screwed up because he can't throw. But everybody said, well, they should have handed it off to Lynch. He'd have got that yard. Well, they handed it off to Lynch, and he needed less than a yard. What happened? Like I said, Pete Carroll was vindicated when he didn't get that yard. And as a result, Seattle enters the second week against these guys. Yeah. Seattle enters the second week as the only team in the NFC West, ironically, who doesn't have a win. Everybody else won. The 49ers blew out the Vikings, as we all expected, or at least we all should have expected. I don't know what's wrong with these people who saying, well, the Vikings, watch out for them, they're going to be in the playoffs. No, they're not. They're the Vikings. They're still the same bunch of incompetent morons who the Packers blow out on a yearly basis, on a twice-a-yearly basis. And they proved that in week 1. I mean, as bad as the Niners look, and let's face it, the Niners are basically going to stink this season. I mean, they got rid of everybody. Either they're good players who went to either other teams or to the police. There have been some arrests, too. But, the Vikings are going to be worse. They and the Bears are going to be competing for the bottom of the NFC North, while the Detroit Lions will continue to be the Packers' #1 problem. Mainly because they're the only one of our division rivals whose quarterback is actually competent. Plus, they have a plethora of receivers too, not like ours, but they've got enough. What else? Oh yes, the Giants. Sunday night ended with the Giants blowing it late against the Cowboys. Now, I don't think Tony Romo's good at all. He's not. Let's face it. The man's turnover prone. He screws up in the fourth quarter. But he came through in the fourth quarter this time, though that was merely because the Giants had a brain fart and didn't even try to score to seal the game with about a minute and change left. Of course, that's what happens when you have a coach who doesn't know where the hell he is. And it was all sorts of craziness. Oddly, though I usually think highly of the Giants, but I actually picked Dallas to win the NFC East because of stuff like this. The Giants seem to find ways to lose games that they should win. Case in point, Sunday night. They should have won that Sunday night. And they just blew it. They just absolutely blew it. I don't get it. But it's only week one. But in some cases, 1 week can tell how a season's going to go. And in the case of the Philadelphia Eagles, it's going to be a long season. The Eagles should have kept Tebow. They should have kept Tim Tebow, because if those morons had actually kept Tim Tebow and he actually played or started Monday night against Atlanta, they wouldn't be 0-1. Sam Bradford single-handedly lost that game with his 2 interceptions, especially that second one, which was poorly thrown to that receiver. And they ended up losing to a very subpar Falcons team who will be lucky if they win 6 games like they did last year. Let's face it, the NFC South's not going to be that train wreck it was last year, though I did love that train wreck. 7-8-1 winning the division, that's just hilarious. But Carolina's going to be much better. They're going to win about 10-11 games and take the South again. And the Falcons, well, they'll just get killed, because they should have got killed Monday. But again, the Eagles got rid of Tebow, and I picked the Eagles to go to the playoffs until I heard they got rid of Tim Tebow. And with that, and when they did that, they just got rid of the playoffs right there. It's a stupid move. They'll regret it, and they'll definitely regret it Sunday when they're 0-2 after Dallas beats them. Also, Seattle will be 0-2 after we knock them out at Lambeau. So, what else? Well, those are really the only standout things that happened in the first week of the season. But it was a crazy week. You had the battle of the top 2 drafted quarterbacks, and Tennessee ended up blowing out the Buccaneers. Poor Bucs. That's going to be another long season for them. And, another long season for Washington. They came up short against Miami. In fact, everybody in the AFC East won a game, which was uncanny. But New England has the Bills this upcoming Sunday, and I see the Bills winning that game. I mean, they got Rex Ryan coaching them. And Rex knows New England. Rex has beaten New England. Now, Rex has beaten New England in Foxborough in January. Not many coaches can say that. So, what else happened? Well, like I said, week 1, it was a pretty crazy opening week. And just think, there's 16 more of these. There's 16 more of these to come. Week 2 starts tomorrow with big AFC West matchup, Denver and Kansas City. That should be good. And what else? Like I said, Dallas and Philly, big NFC East matchup. Already DeMarco Murray is going to face the team he ran all those yards with for all that time. And of course, the big NFC Championship rematch. Green Bay and Seattle. We owe the Seahawks an ass whooping. We've been owing the Seahawks an ass whooping ever since the fail Mary. So that's gonna be big. So that's my review of the first week of the season. Enjoy the rest of the NFL season. I know I will.